What's good, y'all? We're back with a new type of video today. We'll be discussing anime and what shows I think are best for beginners or people who have never seen any before. The industry has grown so much. Like, damn, in this past month alone, the MLB collaborated with Demon Slayer and the LA Lakers collaborated with One Piece, two very popular animes. And in the past couple months, there's also been recent reports saying that Netflix, which has a huge catalog of shows in regard to number and genre, earned more revenue from anime than Crunchyroll, which is essentially the world's top anime library. That's quite impressive for Netflix to pass that, even though anime is not its main focus. That's another way in showing the growth of the industry, especially in the US. Anyways, if you have a Netflix account, which many people do, you can check out some great animes. However, I personally believe that some shows are not the best to start off with if you are new. That's why I'm here to put y'all on the right track. And with all of that said, here are the top shows that I would recommend to people who are new to anime. To keep this video short and sweet, I'll go more in depth about 4 shows. However, before I get into those, I will list out some honorable mentions. First is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and the second is Dr. Stone. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is 64 episodes and is the most complete show you will ever see. Also has a great ending and shows great family dynamics. Dr. Stone, a little over 50 episodes, celebrates mankind's success with our evolution, and its voice acting is very good. Season 4 is ongoing right now, too. It is definitely one of the funniest shows you will ever see. Good thing is about these shows is that they are both on Netflix, very accessible. This show slaps harder than your mama, and it's called The Apothecary Diaries. It came out fall 2023, and the basics of the show is that it takes place during the Imperial China days, where there is the emperor, his palace, concubines, and all that jazz. The story focuses on a teenage girl named Mao Mao, who is an apothecary, someone who specializes in drugs and medicines. She was out living with her adopted father away from the palace until one day she gets kidnapped and sold off to work as a servant for the inner palace. That is where her story begins, and she constantly solves these mysteries happening in or around the palace. This show, to put it quite simply, is just brilliant. And it helps having Mao Mao, who's a great protagonist, to lead the show. I watch my shows in English, and her voice actor does a phenomenal job. I just love how raw and unfiltered her dialogue lines are throughout the show. Anyways, this show is currently 34 episodes, with season 2 going on right now, dropping every Friday. It is projected to be a total of 48-ish episodes, and will finish around Q2 of this year. It's a great show, and I would highly recommend it. Great art style and animation too. Currently, it's not on Netflix, but it will be on April 1st. Now at number 3, going more into the fantasy realm, we have another recent show that has debuted. I present Solo Leveling. It came out last January, and now veterans may question this, but let me cook. Solo Leveling is a Korean-based anime where gates from another world connect to the real world. Those gates have monsters that reside in them, and with that, humans in the real world awaken and gain supernatural powers. The main character, Jin Sung, awakens as the weakest hunter and is considered an E rank, like grades in school. Except the best hunters are S rank. The story of the protagonist is much more simple than people make it out to be. He's a dude in his mid-20s who's trying to pay for his mom's hospital bills and his younger sister's tuition for school. In order to do that, he needs to get a lot stronger. However, when people awaken, their rank usually never changes unless they reawaken. Crazy stuff happens to our dog, but essentially, he breaks through that axiom and becomes that top G. Similar to Apothecary Diaries, Season 2 is going on right now, dropping every Saturday, and it's going absolutely crazy. I'm sure many people have heard about Attack on Titan and all that. Solo Leveling is already breaking records of that legendary show, and it is currently 21 episodes. This season will have a few more episodes, being a grand total of 24, 25-ish episodes. Overall, this show has really lived up to the hype. It has a great team working behind its production, especially with A1 Pictures as its animation studio. Last little note, the voice actor for Jin Sung, Alex Lee, is killing it. Very talented voice actor that is enjoyable to watch. Only unfortunate thing is that this show is not on Netflix. Number 2. This next show has a very special place in my heart. It's called Frieren Beyond Journey's End, and there really is no show like this one. It takes place in a fantasy world where there are mages, warriors, demons, etc. And the main character is an elf lady named Frieren, who is also a mage. The main story takes place after her and the hero party takes down the Demon King. As an elf, she has a very long lifespan, and the time has little effect on her. However, the same cannot be said about her companions. The first episode, absolute banger. It already hits you with the feels. It really makes you think about your current life and how you're going about it. Are you just going through the motions and just trying to make it through? If so, you should definitely consider tuning up your approach to life. Anyways, fast forward, and one of her old companions in the party is nearing his deathbed. But before that, he adopts a little girl who lost both of her parents at a very young age. Like, damn, bro. It even got to the point where the little girl, before getting adopted, almost joined her parents by jumping off a cliff, since she did not think life was worth living anymore. Eventually, when the old companion passes on, our goat of all elves takes the little girl, Fern, in as her apprentice. After that, the main story picks up, and it's their adventure together going through all the places that Frieren went with her old party. There's a lot of good that can be said about this show, but I'll save that for another time. Another thing is, I'm a sucker for the Kudere type of characters, as I was definitely like that early on in my life. For 28 episodes, it is by far the best show you'll see for that length. The life lessons, storytelling, character development, and the great music really just bring it all together. Shout out to Evan Call for producing those fire soundtracks. The show also came out in fall 2023 with Apothecary Diaries, and season 2 is scheduled to pick up January 2026. This is also on Netflix, and it's a great and easy watch. The animation studio, Studio Madhouse, did a fantastic job with this one, and season 2 is projected to be even better than season 1. Last but not least, for the number 1 spot, veterans will probably be quite surprised, but in my personal opinion, the best gateway anime for watchers nowadays is Mashle, Magic and Muscles. Its second opening song went extremely viral, and it was all over various social medias. I'm quite sure a few non-anime watchers probably have seen that dance somewhere before. Anyways, it is primarily a comedy show, but it is executed so well. The main gist of the show is that this teenage boy lives out with his pops in the countryside in a world where magic is everything. For those who do not have magic, you are literally faced with the death penalty. And guess what? Our main protagonist, Mash Burndead, does not have any magic. However, he is freakishly strong and athletic, and he uses that to cover for his non-magic abilities. The show is simpler than people think, similar to Solo Leveling, but all the dude wants to do is live with his pops in peace. Unfortunately, that cannot happen, and Mash eventually ends up going to an all-magic school to become the top student in his class so he can avoid the death penalty. As funny as the show is, it really does have its touching moments, like Mash gaining friends for the first time, or even with his dad's backstory. It's a very easy watch, only 24 episodes, and also on Netflix. Animation is great, as the studio behind it is A1 Pictures, the same as Solo Leveling. And there you have it. These are my top gateway animes to watch for newbies and beginners. These shows are all outstanding in their own ways, and I highly recommend all of them. If there were an order I'd recommend with these, it would be simple 1 through 4. Mashle, Frieren, Solo Leveling, Apothecary Diaries. Then, watch the honorable mentions in whatever order you want. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are and what other contents you would like to see on the channel. Please like and subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you on the next video.